team. Team Caitlyn gets a solo kill here on support guy. That was very close. Should allow red team to take the Herald as they've started up right now. But here's Aatrox. Engages with the World Ender. Lands 2 shots of Dark Blade, dashes over the wall, and Caitlyn does a flash available to her. Maybe she will use it over the wall. Flashes right into a Heimerdinger, and that's a feel bad moment right there. You see a probably red team here planning for an early invade. They do have a Blitzcrank, so that's pretty much something that you will look for most times in solo queue when you have Blitzcrank. But blue team, they have vision. Morgana lands Dark Binding, and this should probably mean that red team, they back out again. They don't have a great little one, but they do have a Blitzcrank. Therefore, you can't go for the level 1 invades. I mean, we've all played against a Blitzcrank in solo queue. We know how it goes, and so did blue team here. But yeah, the guy we're casting, support guy 1, 2, 3 on the Hecarim. And to be fair, Hecarim in this team comp works pretty decent. You have good setup in bot lane with the Morgana. You have good setup in top lane with Aatrox, who can land, if he lands his Darkened Blade onto Malphite, which before level 6 doesn't really have any way to escape other than using his flash. And you also have, I mean, at least you have decent pressure in mid, because you have a Heimerdinger, and Heimerdinger will perma push lane. He's pretty tough to gank and will always have pressure, especially going into a melee matchup like this. So you do have pressure in mid lane, which allows you to gank side lanes permanently and have your mid laner at least give him the option to support you. But as we see right now in the bot lane, Blitzcrank landed the hook into a Dark Binding, CC from one team into CC from the other. And yeah, in bot lane it will be important for the Morgana here for blue team to land, or not land, but to click on herself or her ADC with her black shield before the hook lands. And on the other hand, Blitzcrank had to look for these hooks as he is right now. No black shield available. There's only a level 1 Morgana. That means first blood to red team here. Morgana gets the headshot and the first blood. And again, that's how you want to play Blitzcrank when you play into Morgana. You want to acknowledge the times where Morgana doesn't have the black shield up, and obviously she doesn't have it up level 1 because she did indeed take the Dark Binding as her first ability. So I mean, that is one way to play Blitzcrank, who is usually countered by the likes of Morgana because of the Dark Shield. Here in top lane, the Aatrox cancels 2 basic attacks, so I don't think he will get the kill on Malphite here. Maybe he will, because Malphite almost overstayed his welcome. It's pretty lucky that Aatrox cancels 2 basic attacks, but okay. And here is support guy on the Hecarim. Devastating charge used onto Blitzcrank. Ghost has also been used by Caitlyn. This is flash Ghost Caitlyn, and I think she will escape, or did the Dark Binding just land? I don't think it did. Otherwise, I don't think the camera would have panned away. But back in the top lane, still very 2 low top laners, and this time a Malphite definitely won't escape. Get hit by the first shot, Darkened Blade into the second, and a couple of basic attacks goes down. And that's a solo kill for Aatrox here for the blue team. At the same time, with mid lane, I mean, we see why Heimerdinger is just very oppressive to lane into. Gets the solo kill also for blue team, up 26 CS to only the 6 CS of Fizz. And in the bot lane, in the meantime, Morgana lands the binding. I don't think that Caitlyn even helped. I just think it was Dark Binding into W, and then that was a kill for Morgana. So blue team, they get 3 kills in all 3 lanes in the span of 20 seconds from top to bottom. So I mean, that spells for a decent game for support guy and the rest of his team. Even though our protagonist support guy really hasn't done anything so far, but it is tough when you play the likes of a Hecarim. Obviously you will become a lot stronger, have a lot more gank pressure whenever you get that level 60 all sort of shadows. But here is Sylas. Sylas has made his way up here to top lane, and yes, it is a Sylas jungle. Gets thrown back in to the Aatrox W. But yeah, Hecarim is a decent ganker with his devastating charge, his E. Oof. Dash into the missed chain from Sylas there. But yeah, Hecarim is a decent ganker. You do have the devastation charge, and as long as you have set up, you can gank before level 6. But after level 6, your ganks will just become much stronger. And here is Hecarim engaging with the devastation charge. Fight is pretty split right now. Aatrox takes down Sylas, and Malphite will also go down. Will probably be a double kill if he donates it. It doesn't, but okay. That's a great counter gank from support guy, understanding that Malphite was slow, didn't have cooldown, so was Sylas, and that allows him to just go up there and get an easy 2 versus 2. But this will maybe get a return kill. No, Heimerdinger flashes away from the playful trickster and actually survives with a slimmer of health. Hit the bot lane, Dark Binding lands once again. Black Shield has been used. This means that Blitzcrank can't hook Caitlyn right now, or Kai'Sa I should rather say. And Caitlyn will maybe go down. No, Blitzcrank. I mean, he didn't use hook in the little time period we just saw there, so maybe he used it just before the camera panned down to bot lane, I assume. Otherwise, it would have been weird not to use the hook at all. But okay, Caitlyn escapes again with the slimmer of health, and it is starting to look pretty rough for red team here. Already down 2.5k Dark Binding Lance. That should be a lot of damage onto the red team support here, but will not go down. Still not enough items on Caitlyn and Morgana to just dive the support here. Jump the waters, misses from Fizz, and here is support guy. That will be a kill for Hecarim. Great gank here. Coming in from downtown behind the turret, and Sylas tries to get the return kill, will not do so. Instead falls the flash away from support guy and goes down himself. But in the bot lane, a dive was started by blue team. It's a 1-1 so far. Both support lane and support players have died, but the 2 ADCs now brawling it out, and Caitlyn really win it out on that trade right there. That's 2 kills for the red team bot lane. Caitlyn Morgana just forcing a bit too hard. Well, then there has then been used at the top lane. Unstoppable Force, I don't think it's available right now if we take a look at the cooldown on the top right screen, but it should be in a couple of seconds. I think it's quite hard to see, but yeah, World Ender was used, so no ultimate available right now for Aatrox. And this means if Sylas makes his way up here, there's an opportunity at least for a gank onto the Aatrox. And you see Sylas on your minimap doing his red buff right now, could make his way up to top lane in just a moment right here. A big wave crashed, but okay, another Dark Binding lands. So does the hook from Blitzcrank. Morgana Black Shield the wrong ally herself instead of her ADC, and this should be another 1-for-1. Both supports get the kills right here. The Soul Shackles has been popped, and here comes support guy once again with the devastation charge. Should get a kill for himself. Another kill right here. That's his 3rd kill of the game. And just as I said a couple of minutes ago that he didn't really have impact so far, now 8.5 minutes in, 5 kill contribution from the blue team jungler. I mean, that's a good start. World Ender has been taken by Sylas here with the hijack, and also pop right now. Don't quite know how it works when you're Sylas, but yeah, he is in World Ender right now. Gets the reset. I mean, and he did go for the gank that he could, and I think that Malphite's ultimate cooldown is bugged, because I think it has looked like it's just about to come off cooldown for quite some minutes now. So we can't trust that one, but let's just assume that Malphite set up the gank with the Unstoppable Force. In came Sylas for the gank, and they take down Aatrox. I mean, decent play from the red team jungler. Gets his 1st kill contribution, and maybe that will be Sylas' way back into this game. Mid lane again looking very oppressive, and you see that's what you do with Heimerdinger. With all the turrets that you have, it's impossible, especially for a melee opponent like Fizz, to go up and auto attack creeps on a regular basis because of the pressure and the zoning that you can do with your turrets. Here he also cancels Fizz's recall. Ooh, Dark Binding lands. Black Shield has been popped again very early on his ADC. Morgana really trying to protect, but that means a hook can land now because it did expire, and that's already 1 kill for the red team here. Soul Shackles has been popped, but I don't think that Morgana will have enough damage on her own. Another Dark Binding lands, and the red team They look to chase it down. Black Shield has also been used once again, so it means that she can't be hooked right now. But here is Silas, and that will be a shutdown kill for the red teammate C Caitlyn here. And Morgana just preempting a bit too much with the Black Shield. Let's see here. Fizz goes in with Jump the Waters. Heimerdinger gets the solo kill, but here is Silas. Misses the chains, but I think he had Soul Shackles. Morgana's ultimate, so stuns Heimerdinger, gets the return kill. Great gank from Silas. But yeah, Morgana on the bottom just preempting the hook a little too early, popping the Black Shield in a very good time, allows it to run out, and then Blitzcrank has the opportunity to hook the ADC as he did down there. And that's probably why Red Team, they did win the 2 vs 2 skirmish, as we saw. Support guy a bit deep in right now, alone in the enemy jungle. Ooh, chains misses from Silas, and I think that should allow Hecarim to escape the jungle, at least in that moment right there. Oh, but a solo kill top lane. 2 very low top laners. Malphite probably just got his double force off cooldown. Goes in on Aatrox. I mean, just dismantles him right there. And that's one way to get back into the game in a lane where you have already been solo killed by the enemy team opponent. So, great play by Malphite. You could say that there is really not much counterplay to an double force other than flashing away. And I mean, Aatrox did have flash off cooldown, decided not to use it, or maybe fat fingered, slow hands, I mean, stuff like that could be the reason. Oh, Fizz misses the cannon, and Heimerdinger has already taken 4th place. But here is Aatrox with the World Ender. That's another solo kill. Gets straight back into lane. Jump the Waters, landed on Heimerdinger, and the Fizz actually gets a return kill in this very tough lane where he's nearly down 50 CS. But okay, he gets the return kill. Still has a plate left on his turret. And I mean, that's at least a trade. Bot lane again, Soul Shackle has been popped. Black Shield again used on himself before. Oh, but luckily Blitzcrank misses the hook, and that's a first kill for blue team. Caitlyn will get a return kill. In comes Hecarim with the Onslaught of Shadows, gets a kill for himself, and that's a 2-1 trade for blue team because of the jungle that was there to help. But yeah, once again, Black Shield used it very early, luckily. Oh, let's see here, right here, if support guy escapes. Silas took the Onslaught of Shadows, used it on Hecarim, but it's just about to say he escaped, but he didn't, and he nearly escaped. And let's see if Silas can find Kaiser alone here. He can, doesn't have the killer instinct available to her to get out of that situation, and that's another kill for BDSM Abuser, I think his name is. I'm not gonna comment on that, but good play from Silas. A little good duration of plays from Silas. Now with 7 stack on his Dark Seal, also has completed his first item, also does have the lucidity boots, and I mean, he's now starting up the first Drake of the game also. And it's kind of turned this game around. But let's see if Red Team will get it. You see, Silas doesn't have Smite off cooldown right now, so that's probably why they kind of backed off. But they will end up getting the first Drake of the game. Dark Binding lands, and that means Caitlyn is done for probably something like half a year. Aatrox just cancels Malphite's recall. And we'll see if Aatrox wants to threaten the dive. Does have the World Ender available to him. And it's 2 charges off the Dark Blade. Maybe. Ooh, almost look for the 3rd. But blue team, they do get the first turret of the game, not in the top lane however, but in the bot lane, where Kaiser and Morgana has put some heavy pressure onto the kinda weak early game champion that is Caitlyn, but she does have 5 kills right now, so not that weak. But the 0-4 Kaiser gets the first turret of the game, and Heimerdinger meanwhile will probably get the 2nd turret in just a moment. Blitzcrank has made his way up the top lane. Well, there has been popped. There is no ultimate on anyone right now. All ultimates has been used. Support guy is also here engaged with the onslaught of shadows. Back in goes Silas with the chain, doesn't get a kill, and Fizz, however, gets the return kill in the mid lane. Again, an isolated 1 versus 1 from this Fizz. Yes, he's down 50 CS, but he keeps on killing this Heimerdinger in the 1v1. See Malphite here. Does have the unstoppable force available to him, but once again, completely just takes down Aatrox, who, I mean, at least in this instant, didn't have flash available to him. Playing for tricks are used to avoid the dark binding. And Caitlyn does get a return turret in the bot lane, and it's now only around the 2k gold lead for the red team here. (16-16) to kills also, so I mean, pretty even game right now. Both team, it's not like we have insane scaling. I mean, Silas does scale pretty good with the AP. Also, let's see what happens here. Hijacks the Morgana ultimate. In goes red team. Takes down Kaiser already. Oh, Morgana flash to try and take down Fizz with the ignite, but a headshot from Caitlyn takes her down as well, and that's 2 kills for red team here. Blue team just overstaying a bit too far with the 2 bot laners in the mid lane, going for the tier 2 turret, but with no cover from the rest of the team. See if Caitlyn gets a solo kill here on support guy. That was very close. Should allow red team to take the Herald as they've started up right now. But here's Aatrox, engages with the World Ender, lands 2 charges of Dark Blade, dashes over the wall, and Caitlyn does a flash available to her. Maybe she will use it over the wall. Flashes right into a Heimerdinger, and that's a feel bad moment right there. You use the flash, you get over the wall, and there is a Heimerdinger just staring at your face, taking you down with the Hextech rockets. But okay, at least they get the Herald in return, because that's just, oh, that's such a feel bad moment for Caitlyn. And this time it's Malphite alone in the enemy team jungle. In goes support guy with the onslaught of shadows. This is Malphite 3 versus 1 right now. Will he escape with the unstoppable force? Uses it over the wall, takes the blast cone. Support guy can chase him down with a devastation charge, but a flash world ender from Aatrox does the job. Blitzcrank caught in the dark binding for an eternity, gets taken down by the Hextech rockets. Oh, Fizz lands jump the waters on Morgana, and she is just dead. Silas also engaged over the wall with the chains. Red team maybe threatening something here on mid lane. Herald has been used, so that should be the first mid turn of the game for the red team here. And Kaiser, she's alone against the Fizz Blitzcrank right now. This should, or this means sure doom for the blue team. See, yeah, she goes down. I mean, that's just a sloppy kill to give over. Completely alone, pushing up for a tier 2 turret when Drake is about to spawn. Take the Drake instead, but she ends up going down. This should mean red team, they do have prio over bot side river right now, should be able to take down the Drake also. Hasn't been started yet. And Malphite will need to join this fight in one way or another. You see him on your minimap passing down right now. If you can get to this fight, it can't be a 5 versus 4 for red team, and he does have a really good flank position. Oh, dark binding lands from Caitlyn, or from Morgana. They want to get right now, but so does the support guy. Doesn't get, ooh, gets completely blown up, silenced into WQ from Fizz, and he goes down. That means now it's a 5 versus 3. Unstoppable force connects on 2 members, and Caitlyn takes down Morgana with the ace in the hole. That's just cleanup from red team. Support guy trying to engage, even though he runs way too far away from his team. He didn't have his ADC there also. She was in fountain. I mean, just a sloppy team fight from blue team. They end up losing 3 members. They end up losing the Drake. And now we are in a really good spot if you are a member of the red team right now. Yeah, we just had some resets after the dragon fight. I mean, people are starting to get their second items of the game, looking really strong right now. And we have to keep an eye on the red team mid laner Fizz here, because yes, it's a Fizz that has had a very rough time in lane. But what does a rough time in lane matter if you do get on max stacks on your Magias that he has right now? Only 10 stacks so far, but a couple of kills more, he could be there. Chop the Waters connects onto Morgana, pops the Soul Shackles. Did use the Black Shield on herself to deny the CC, and in goes Fizz, but Blitzcrank somehow gets the kill. Didn't even use his Ignite, so I'm not quite sure how he got it. Maybe with his passive, but okay. And that's 2 more stacks for Fizz on his Magias. I mean, so he will get the AP if he doesn't die right now. Aatrox, however, caught alone in a 1 versus 3 and will just go down. That's 4 more stacks of Fizz. Here is Heimerdinger flashes away from the change. Kai'Sa now gets hit by the hook and has to flash out also. Can Fizz chase down? Flash into Q. Playful Trickster has also been used. Cannot dodge away with the Killer Instinct that ends up going down. And that's now 20 stacks for Fizz. 7 kills. And I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't get CS in lane if you can just get the gold from kills and the AP from your items, like you do get with the Magias if you don't die. So I mean, a great comeback Fizz has done so far. And red team maybe threatening Baron here. Oh, doesn't use the Black Shield on himself, or at least doesn't use it in the right time. Ends up being taken down by Caitlyn and Silas. And that's now a 4k goal lead for red team right here. They do get a bot turret also, tier 2 in that lane, and they should be able to pressure Baron. It doesn't look like they will start right now. Fizz is also just recalled, so they have to wait for him. And Malphite meets a random Heimerdinger on the bot side jungle, but in the top lane there's also a fight. Onslaught of Shadows has been used, the support guy goes down, don't see what happens, but here in the bot lane, however, Malphite has used the unstoppable force onto Heimerdinger, takes him down. Silas takes down Aatrox in the top side. That's 3 kills for red team right now. Should mean that they will start off Baron. Yes, they do so right now, and it's up to Morgana and Kai'Sa to defend this Baron. I don't even think they will contest it. You see Kai'Sa, she's on Raptors right now. Morgana's solo pushing top lane. I mean, this should be a free Baron for red team. Only 22.5 minutes into the game, and the kill lead at some point was 16-16. I think it's now gone clear in favor of red team. 30-19 right now. Malphite takes the blue buff. I mean, yeah, don't give it to Fizz. Why should the AP mid laner? Oof, Chop the Waters really misses. Playful Trickster over the Dark Binding. Soul Shackles has been popped, but there's no one to help Morgana. You will just die. And that's now 24 stacks for Fizz. Legendary. I mean, I don't know, man. But yeah, things are looking rough for blue team now. Down 9k, 8-9k, something like that. 3 items on Caitlyn, only 2 on Kai'Sa. Stuff like that. It's not looking good. Playful Stricter on top of support guy, and he will go down. This Fizz is just too fed right now. Gets his max stacks on Magias as well. And his 9th kill of the game. Does have a 700 gold shutdown bounty on him. So that is something that blue team can look for, but they don't have, I should rather say, that hard CC to keep Fizz locked out and deny him from that Playful Trickster way to escape fights. And here's Blitzcrank, who just barely misses the hook, but holy moly, that was some damage. Completely blows up Morgana. And there's now a Baron buff mid wave being pushed in. Once again looking for the dive with the unstoppable force, and Kai'Sa will go down without having any counterplay whatsoever. Gets hit by the hook, yeah, but before that she was hit by the unstoppable force. And I mean, that's 2 members dead of the blue team right now. Red team pushing for end. Only 4 members though. Fizz is in the top lane, so it's a 2 versus 4 right now. Can Aatrox defend together with 3 other members? I mean, it's a 4 versus 4 right now if blue team decides to go for the fight. So does support guy engaging with the Onslaught of Shadows. Silas takes it from him and uses that to take him down. In goes he also and takes down. He also goes in and takes down Morgana. That was some very sloppy English, and they do get 3 kills, doesn't lose any members, and that means that red team, they will take the game right here. 37, no, I should probably say 38 kills 219. Caitlyn gets the last kill of the game with the ace in the hole, and unfortunately our protagonist support guy doesn't get the win of this one. However, it was a very good fast-paced game, so thank you so much for letting me cast your game, support guy. And yeah, if you're watching and you want me to cast your game, feel free to comment your summon name down below. I will take a look at it in the future. Until next time, see ya.